Tyler was driving his Model Y while using Autopilot in Austin, Texas, when an unsecured piece of plywood flew out of the trailer in front of him. Tyler says the Tesla swerving was done completely by the Tesla's Autopilot trying to avoid the flying obstacle. However, because there was a car coming up on the left, there was nowhere for it to go. Autopilot didn't attempt to slow down though, which Tyler thought was strange. So he started to apply the brakes manually, but he wasn't quick enough. He took over from Autopilot after the collision. Tyler's wife, who was sitting in the passenger seat, got cut by some of the windshield shards that exploded inside the vehicle. They're both okay though, with just minor cuts and scrapes. The truck driver took off and Tyler wasn't able to get their license plate number, but he reported the incident to the police. They said they'll contact the toll authority to see if they can find other video evidence so Tyler can seek compensation from the driver. Tyler did file an insurance claim and he had to have his Tesla towed away. Subhan was driving his Model 3 in Birmingham, England, when a driver ran a red light and T-boned him. Subhan says he was driving straight through the intersection and, as we can see in the video, his light was green. The other driver ran his red light and hit him at full speed. Then the other driver just took off without even checking to see if Subhan was okay. Luckily, he was perfectly fine, and we can see him in the video stepping out of the Tesla to inspect the damage. We can also see that he is not happy. The police responded, and they loved the fact that the Teslacam feature made the footage available to them instantly. They were able to use the video to get the vehicle's registration information and immediately began a search for the dangerous driver. Unfortunately, they haven't contacted Subhan to let him know if the offender has been found. He filed an insurance claim right away and has just been notified that his Tesla will be repaired. It had only been a week since Subhan had received his car. He says he's a huge fan of Wham Baam, but he didn't think he'd ever be on our channel himself, not to mention so quickly after becoming a Tesla owner. Kello was driving his Model 3 in Denmark when a driver in the opposite lane lost control while speeding in wet conditions. He slid into Kello's car and they both crashed. The other driver left the scene, turning this into a hit-and-run accident. The police are still looking for him, but luckily, nobody in Kello's car was injured. Ted was about to enter Highway 101 by the San Francisco International Airport when he noticed that someone was doing donuts, bumping along the barriers and causing traffic to stop behind him. The other driver didn't seem bothered at all by his own crashing, because he just kept spinning around after this. Ted's girlfriend told him this was a true Wham Baam Teslacam moment. Approximately 5 seconds after Matt's light turned green, an SUV ran a red light, hitting a white truck. The SUV didn't even stop, quickly leaving the scene of the accident. The good news is that the driver was okay. The officer Matt spoke with didn't know that Tesla vehicles had the Teslacam feature, and they said they hope more people get Teslacams so it makes their job easier. Conrad was driving his Model Y on I-4 in Tampa, Florida when his car was hit by flying debris. He filed an insurance claim, but he hasn't heard back about whether the damage will be covered or how much repairs will cost. Conrad asked if we could give a shout out to his daughter Brianna. She's an avid Wham Baam fan and watches our new episodes every Sunday, or whenever they're posted. Smart girl. Be sure to follow her lead and subscribe, as we're now posting 2 to 3 times per week. Greg's wife was driving their Model Y in Reno, Nevada when a pickup truck rear-ended her at about 30 miles per hour. The Tesla is currently in the shop, but Greg doesn't know yet if it'll be repaired or if it's totaled. Sam was headed to work as usual one morning on the freeway. He tells us that traffic always slows down at this section due to construction and narrow lanes. Suddenly, he heard 2 large impacts near him and knew someone had crashed, but he didn't realize how close the accident was until later when he checked his Teslacam footage. Joey was sitting in his car charging in a parking lot one extremely windy day when he came face to face with the cart demon. Luckily, he'd paused the video he was watching so he was able to hear the shopping cart hurtling toward the car. He'd already removed his seatbelt and he was able to immediately spring into action. Arush had parked his Model Y far away from any other cars because it was really windy and he was afraid of other car doors hitting his Tesla. Unfortunately, his worst fears were realized. Out of nowhere, the cart demon struck. The impact left a very small scratch and a minor dent. Arush tells us that this actually happened on his birthday. What a wonderful present. Andres was driving his Model 3 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. His father was with him in the car and they were going 60 miles per hour on an expressway when they changed lanes to pass a slower driver. That's when Andres suddenly noticed a car invading his lane with nowhere to go since the car he overtook was on his left. Andres says his Tesla took evasive action even though he wasn't using autopilot. It made the car zigzag 4 times to evade the white car. Unfortunately, this led to Andres getting a lecture from his dad about being ready for anything while driving. Well, he's a smart man. You should always plan for the worst. Julien was returning to France after the holidays when he saw a man in the middle of the road. He braked and disengaged autopilot, and right after this happened, he saw a stork. Julien says the car that passed him almost hit the security guy on the left. Tori was driving his Model Y to pick up his mother-in-law when he was cut off by a pickup driver that had missed their exit. If Tori had been driving any other car, he's sure he would have been hit. Thanks to autopilot and reflexes like Minato, his favorite anime character, he managed to escape unscathed. Megan had just picked up her son Nolan from school when they witnessed this sign get taken down. A white van was coming down a steep hill where it's hard to stop, especially if you're speeding, and ran a yellow light. The pickup truck driver probably wasn't paying attention, but they realized they were about to have a head-on collision and decided to take down the sign instead. What's most remarkable is that after the sign takedown, he just took off. Mary had just picked up her husband from the airport and was driving their Model 3 home on US Route 101 in California. It's legal for motorcycles to split between lanes in California, but it's pretty dangerous. Just as this biker passed the Tesla, a car in front of them started changing lanes. The biker locked up his brakes, but luckily he managed to keep the bike upright. Now that was a close call. Ken had just washed his Model 3 and went for a cruise to dry it off. While driving over the Golden Ears Bridge in Maple Ridge, Canada, the car in front of him started shooting off fireworks through the sunroof. Well, this is a first for us. We're not really sure what the point of this is. Can you help us out? Leave a comment if you know what's going on here. Patrick went to a bar with some friends after visiting a haunted house. Not 10 minutes after sitting down, he experienced something more terrifying than what they'd seen at the haunted house. Some drunk guy kicked his car and triggered the alarm on his Tesla, sending a push notification on Patrick's phone that something was going on. Patrick went out to check on his car, not knowing what had happened until he'd viewed the Sentry mode footage. In the video, we can see the guy staring at him while he leaves with his friends. Kyle was driving his Model 3 in Delta, British Columbia, Canada, when he found himself in the middle of a BMW street race. 3 BMWs blocked off the road, and 2 of them then raced each other right in front of him. Kyle says it was quite fun to watch, what with the loud bangs coming from the BMW on the right. Austin was driving his Model Y in College Park, Maryland. He stopped to let a man use a crosswalk, and just as he waved his hands at the pedestrian, he got rear-ended. The Camry owner who hit him told Austin he'd gotten his car just 3 months ago, and he didn't even have license plates yet. Austin tells us that all of his friends have told him the automatic emergency braking of the Camry is not good at all. The Camry driver admitted fault immediately. Repairs took 6 weeks, plus 2 more weeks waiting in line at an authorized body shop. The Tesla body shop was already booked solid for the rest of the year. There is something that Austin would like to get the Wham Baam viewers' opinion on. The third-party authorized body shop found damage to the frame of his quarter glass. Austin had actually discovered a leak around the quarter window just days after taking delivery of his Tesla, even before the accident, and he'd gone to Tesla twice to have it fixed. The first time, Tesla just reinstalled the window. The second time, they replaced it altogether. Now it looks like this. Austin says he has no idea if it will have any negative impact. He wants to hear your ideas, so leave a comment and tell him what you think. Mohammed was driving his Model Y in Bellevue, Washington. It was really windy when he heard a loud bang followed by the sound of screeching tires. When he looked to his left, he saw a tree hit a white Infiniti QX60. On that note, it's time to announce the winner of our dad joke competition. Remember the video of a guy riding on the roof of a BMW? We gave you a chance to make your best joke about why he was doing that. We selected the 4 best punchlines and put them in a poll where over 18,000 people voted. Here are the results. In 4th place with 7% of the votes is this joke from Dark Soul. Dad was driving, so the guy was looking at him through the sunroof. In 3rd place with 15% of the votes is this joke from Patrick. Looks like BMW is prototyping their version of Sentry mode. In 2nd place with 30% of the votes is a joke from Lamarabi. We've been trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. Hey, don't close that window on me. And the winner with a whopping 48% of the votes is Peter Fernandez. The dude on the roof of the BMW was actually a turn signal. Well done, Peter. A Wham Bam t-shirt is on the way.